So today's lecture. So last class I discussed about the plant monitoring system. This is also related to the environment, but here this I'll discuss about the environment monitoring system. Okay, so you can measure various things from the environment, right? So in this case, I have used the humidity sensor, temperature sensor, pressure sensor, and for this the humidity, temperature and pressures. Okay, for this normally the temperature can be detected by the temperature sensor. You can see the temperature sensor, the black one is the temperature sensor. And humidity is can be normally in the last lecture. If you see the humidity, I have used the potentiometer for measuring the humidity. Okay, so you can use the one potentiometer for measuring the humidity. Now come to the pressure sensor. In previous one lecture I used the pressure sensor. Okay, this pressure normally for pressure sensor you can use the one force sensor. Okay, this is the force sensor. You can see this one is the force sensor. So humidity, temperature, pressure. Okay, this I have already discussed. Humidity is the for humidity the potentiometer. For temperature, you have the temperature sensor in the Tinkercad platform. For humidity, it is not there. So for that, I can use the potentiometer. And for pressure also, you can use the force sensor. Okay, so this is the force sensor for pressure. So this the humidity, temperature, pressure, these three data you can connect the LCD. So in my case, in this case, I did not connect the LCD. You can show the message on the serial monitor window in Arduino. Okay, there is a serial monitor window in Arduino. Here you can show this results, humidity or from the temperature, pressures from the environment, right? So next is the uh, wind speed. Okay, wind speed is also you can detect, okay, from the environment. So for that also there is a anemometer sensor. So anemometer sensor, so there it will one potentiometer is connected with the anemometer sensor. So here I used only the potentiometer for Tinkercad. Okay, so if the wind speed is high, how can measure the wind speed? If you increase the potentiometer value, so it can be measured the wind speed. If the wind speed is high, that the motor will be turned on. Okay, so this is one action. So you can identify that if the motor is turned on, you can identify automatically if the speed is high, that will be detected by the aminometer. So then the if in speed is high, that the motor will be turned on. So that is the indication that the wind speed is high. Okay, so inside the room, motor is there, and outside the room, potentiometer or aminometer is there. So if inside the room, if the motor is on, then you can understand that the wind speed is high, right, in a particular location. Okay, so from the environment you can also measure one parameter, that is the gas sensor, right? So gas sensor that can be measured by the various kinds of gas sensors are available, but for a toxic gas we can use the different various sensors. So here I use the gas sensor for measuring the normally carbon monoxide, any kind of the toxic sensor. So if the toxic gas is present in near about your room or neighbor, so the buzzer will be turned on. Okay, so normally if toxic gas is present, so suppose in a monitoring system or monitoring room, the gas sensor is connected. If in a room any toxic gas is there, so the gas sensor will detect that particular toxic gas, and the buzzer will be turned on for that. Okay, that is the concept, right? So you can see the gas sensor here. This is the gas sensor. Okay, and so respective buzzer. So buzzer and motor, these two will be acted as a output because based on the wind speed or potentiometer output, the buzzer will be on, and based on the gas sensor value, the sorry, motor will be on, and based on the gas sensor value, the buzzer will be on. So this, so identifying the toxic gas is present or not, or the wind speed is high or not, for that the buzzer will be motor will be turned on and buzzer will be turned on. And for monitoring the humidity, temperature and pressure, you can monitor this value in the LCD, on the LCD, or you can monitor those values in the serial monitor window, or in the advanced way you can to design the proper IoT platform. These data, all the data, wind speed, the toxic gas, humidity, temperature, all the data that you can store in the cloud platform, right? So how can you build this cloud and everything, I will show in the upcoming lectures. Okay. So now I will open the Tinkercad platform where I will show how the instruction of the code and the program. So now I am going to open the Tinkercad platform. Uh, Here I open the Tinkercad platform for weather monitoring system, where I have designed the weather monitoring system. So I have already discussed what are the components are required for making building the weather monitor IoT-based weather monitoring system. So this potentiometer for humidity. Okay, three terminals are there. One is the both outside terminal will be connected to the positive and negative pin respectively, and middle one pin should be connected to the analog pin, because humidity value is the analog value. Similarly, the temperature data we have, temperature sensor up to you have to connect, because it has also three terminals, right? The middle terminal should be connected with the analog pin of the temperature Arduino. Okay, so this LED I have connected, but it is not required to connect. Okay, so pressure sensor for uh, pressure. Okay, from pressure sensor from environment. Normally in the for if you want to design the real-time platform, you can use the BMP 200 or BMP 280, BMP 180. This kind of the pressure sensor, volumetric pressure sensor you can use. So here I have used the only force sensor in the Tinkercad. Okay, this is the force sensor. This is for the pressure, measuring the pressure. And for wind speed also I have told. So in real life you can use the aminometer, because in aminometer there is a one potentiometer. So here I have only used the potentiometer. So if you change the increase or decrease the potentiometer value, you can, it will be defined as a the wind speed is decreasing or increasing. If wind speed is increased, then the motor will be turned on. Okay, the potentiometer is high, then motor will be turned on. For detecting the toxic gas sensor, you can use the gas sensor that is also available, which is available here only. Okay. In the gas sensor, the connection will be like that. You can check in the internet also how to connect the gas sensor in the Tinkercad. Okay, you will get the connection or idea. So these three pins I have connected to the positive power supply, and there are three pins. One I have connected with the negative through the resistor. So middle one also I have to connect with the negative, and the outside the this one we have to connect with the analog pin, because the gas sensor gas value is toxic gas value is also the analog value. Okay, so the if the toxic gas is more, then the buzzer will be turned on, right? And if the wind speed is more, the motor will be turned on. And apart from this, these three below, the humidity, temperature, and pressure, these three below will be displayed on the serial monitor on top, because here I have not connected the LCD, right? So now I'm going to the code only. Here also, so you have so many sensor I have connected, that's why so all the sensor pin I have to mention in here only. Okay, so this is the analog in, this is for humidity sensor, then for force sensor, temperature sensor, everything, every sensor. And if you want to read the data, you have to store those data in a one variable. So for that also you have to declare the variable name. Okay, so for this I have written all the variable name. And motor pin, this is the digital pin, motor will be turned on. And buzzer is the 4 pin, number pin 4 is the buzzer pin. This I have already discussed. And under the void setup function, you have to write all the configuration, all the pin number or whatever pin number you mentioned, which will be at the input and output. So in my case, the temperature, pressures, all temperature, pressure sensor, humidity sensor, temperature sensor, pressure sensor, and wind speed potentiometer and the gas sensor. These are will be input pin, and the buzzer and the motor, these two will be the output pin, right? The motor pin and the buzzer, these two will be output pin. This all the pin configuration I have to mention under the void setup function. So what this concept is very simple. Just read the temperature, humidity, analog read within bracket humidity pin number you have to mention, and analog read within bracket temperature you have to mention, analog read within bracket force you have to mention. So here the force data pressure data have storing in a force variable, and this is for humidity. Okay, so this humidity have stored in a one variable. No, sorry, this is for temperature. This I have already discussed. The temperature reading, that will be some reading data we will get from the temperature sensor. So if you want to see the this data in a centigrade form, degree centigrade form. Okay, so there are the some two three lines of code you have to write. Okay, so some data, whatever data you will get, this will convert into the raw voltage from, and from the voltage you will get again the temperature data. Okay, so these two value I can see in the serial monitor window. After writing the code like serial.print, the text you can print as we did see in the double quote, and value you can print as a like this way. Okay, so humidity sensor here, I'm storing the humidity sensor. Okay, so the for storing the potentiometer value also, you can write in a different way, in a percentage, and whatever data you will get, this data you have to convert. So you can get a code from the internet how we have to convert the humidity data into the percentage form. Okay, this is the code. Force data, you can also directly display the force equal to force data like this way. And the potentiometer wind speed, this also you can write the potentiometer data. Whatever data you are getting, this A3 that is storing the potentiometer data, and you are dividing the data and divided by 4 for turning on the motor. Okay, so whatever data you will get, this data you have to store in you have to pass through the motor. Okay, for writing them. So whatever the potentiometer data you will get, so this data I am dividing by 4, and the same data I'm not, I have to turn on the motor. Okay, so motor will be also analog. Okay, based on the potentiometer value, the motor will be turned on. So whatever the potentiometer value, this will pass into the motor for turn on the motor. Okay, so whatever data I'm getting, this I'm dividing by 4. So the same data I'm storing into the motor. Okay, for turning on the motor if the wind speed is high. Okay, so the this is for gas sensor. So gas sensor pin I am storing in a one variable, sensor variable. If the sensor variable is value is more than 100, then the buzzer will be turned on. Okay, so just you have to store the analog, you have to write the analog read function, you have to store value, and there are some conversion for getting the proper message on the serial monitor window and the LCD window. For proper message, you have to do, you have to write the some formula for getting the proper message. Okay, which will be visible for human, right? So if the gas sensor value is low, then the buzzer will be no, not play. Okay, so now I'm turning on the so you can see so the gas sensor is high, then the buzzer is turning on, and so if we decrease the wind speed, then it will be closed. If we increase the wind speed, see, earlier the motor was off, now the motor is turned on, and this three bill you can see on the serial monitor window. See, force is 144. Okay, temperature is this much, and humidity is this much. Okay, so these three values I am checking in the serial monitor window, and for wind speed, and for wind speed is more high, then this motor will be turned on, and the gas sensor is high, then buzzer will be turned on. So I hope you like my video. So this about the weather monitoring system. So I will also discuss some more into case studies And in the upcoming lecture, I will also discuss the cloud computing and the platform different UB dot ThinkSpeak. This kind of the cloud platform I'll discuss in the upcoming lecture. So please like, share, and subscribe my channel.